attaches to the body. Now what I've done is I've opened this up already, and you can see under this microscope I've opened it up, I put it under a dissecting scope, and you don't have to do anything with this. You don't have to draw it, you don't have to know it. The only reason I put it out here is I've got it focused on the seminiferous tubules so that you can actually look at this and envision. It's so hard to envision these seminiferous tubules and how tiny they are, and that spermatogenesis is taking place in these seminiferous tubules. So I focused on the seminiferous tubules so that you can see that they are in fact tubes, okay, and how many there actually are. So here's the sheep testis. There's fat around here, there's schmutz, but what we're going to see is a couple different coverings, a couple different coats. The outermost coat is what's called the tunica vaginalis. So we see this thick fibrous coat. It's very, very thick and tough, okay? That's what I'm peeling back. I already cut this. So we're seeing the tunica vaginalis here, this outer coat. Now we see a secondary coat. That's this. I've cut a flap here and you can see it. This secondary coat is called the tunica albuginea. So see this flap here. That's the tunica albuginea. So first covering, outermost covering, superficial, tunica vaginalis. Second covering that clings tightly to the testes is the tunica albuginea. So now I've cut it open. We're going to look inside, and what we see inside is all this kind of pink meat. All that pink stuff inside there, all of it, all of it, all of it. Those are all seminiferous tubules. That's how many there are, and that's how tiny, itty bitty microscopic they are. All this pink stuff is seminiferous tubules. We just have to trust that these are seminiferous tubules, that they are indeed microscopic, and this is where spermatogenesis is taking place, okay? All those sperm cells, now you know how many there are. Lots and lots and lots, because there's lots of seminiferous tubules here. All right, here's another structure here. When I peel back the tunica vaginalis, what we see here is this kind of coil right here. This coiled structure all the way around the testis. This is the epididymis. So spermatogenesis is taking place here. The sperm cells are then going to migrate to the epididymis here, and they're going to hang out here until they're needed to be ejaculated. And then they're going to be ejaculated through this, which is the vas deferens, the skinny little tube here. You don't need to know the vas deferens on here, but I show it to you because we saw it in our book. All right, so once again, for the testis, outermost covering is the tunica vaginalis. The secondary covering is the tunica albuginea. That's this flap of stuff I've cut and peeled back here. Epididymis is this coil that wraps all the way around the testis, and you don't need to know head, body, tail, but it gives you kind of a point of reference because the head is more towards the top and the tail is more towards the bottom. Then when you cut it open, all this in here, all this tan stuff in here are the seminiferous tubules. And you might wonder, well, what's this up here? That's kind of gross. That's just blood cells and nerves that go up into that spermatocord. Okay, so those are the structures you need to know.